In every community, there are stories that get told and stories that get buried. There are bridges that lift people up and gaps that pull people apart. Some truths aren't loud, they whisper in the places between us, in the silence, in the places where equity breaks. But every bridge has a guardian, every legacy has a keeper. My name is Hakim Coggins. I am the Bridgekeeper. This is not a podcast. This is not a show. This is a movement, a journey across stories, struggle, and the gaps we must dismantle to make our community whole again. Here, we expose what's hidden. We honor the originators. We protect the truth. So, welcome to the Bridgekeeper Series, where courage becomes clarity, where community becomes narrative, and where truth finally crosses over. Let's walk this bridge together. Across this country, there is a quiet shift happening inside buildings that carry the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The name remains, the initials remain, the murals remain, but the people these spaces were built for, the leaders who carried the mission, the voices rooted in lived experience, slowly disappear. This isn't loud, this isn't aggressive. It's the kind of removal that happens through policies, restructuring, and drift. A drift away from black leadership and a drift away from Dr. King's value. Every major U.S. city. They were created as black cultural anchors, civil rights hubs, community sanctuaries, and spaces where Dr. King's mission could live beyond his lifetime. Yet, across the country, many of these centers are experiencing changes in leadership, shifts away from black community governance, loss of cultural grounded programming, administrative priorities overriding community needs, funders influencing directions more than residents, decreased black staff representation, decreased community trust. This is not isolated. This is not imagined. This is not rare. This is documented. These examples echo the same structural issues found in research: leadership whitening, mission drift, funders reshaping programming, cultural dilution, community pushout, legacy sanitized for comfort. This is cultural gentrification of civil rights spaces. And the most painful part, even Dr. King's name cannot protect his legacy from being reshaped into something safer. When a Martin Luther King Center loses its black leadership, its cultural grounding, or its community voice, something bigger than programming changes. The memories shift, the meaning shifts, the belonging shifts. People feel it in their bones. A mother walking through the lobby knows when the space no longer looks like her children. An elder sitting in a meeting knows when their voice is tolerated instead of valued. A grassroots leader knows when their innovation becomes someone else's resume line. This is how cultural grief begins, not in explosions, but in quiet renovation of missions. Communities know when something is being taken from them. They feel it before any researcher measures it. There is a truth we must stop running from. Institutions can gentrify a culture just as easily as they can gentrify a neighborhood. They can keep the building, keep the name, keep the murals, keep the legacy words, but lose the people. The people who built the programs, the people who shaped the culture, the people who carried the history, the people who trusted the space. When those people disappear from leadership, from decision making, from the hallways, from the programming, the institution may still be standing, but the legacy is gone. This is the danger facing Martin Luther King centers today and many other black-rooted institutions across the country. They don't lose the name, they lose the purpose, they lose the soul, they lose the architects of the mission. And a space without its cultural architects is just a building wearing someone else's story. My name is Hakim. I am the Bridgekeeper. And this message is for every originator, every community elder, every youth who felt the door close when a bridge used to be. Your culture is not disposable. Your leadership is not optional. Your innovations are not free to copy. Your legacy is not for dilution. And your voice, our voice, is still the most powerful force in any room, in any institution, in any city, in any country. We are the architects, and we are not done building. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name carries a legacy, paid for in struggle, sacrifice, and truth. His name cannot be reduced to a logo, an acronym, or a convenient brand for institutions seeking funding without honoring the work, people, and the mission he lived and died for. In this community and in this story, his name will not be used in vain. Not for appearances, not for grant proposals, not to cover inequity with symbolism. If an institution chooses to carry the name of Dr. King, then it must also carry his values: equity, courage, accountability, and justice. Anything less is misuse. Anything less is dishonor. And we will not allow it to go unspoken. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name is a legacy, not a marketing strategy. And on this bridge we are building, his name will never be used for branding or funding without the truth he stood for. This is the Bridgekeeper Series, and the legacy will be protected.